Everyone spent last year asking what Iowa basketball would be without Caitlin Clark. They were asking the wrong question. The real question is what this program becomes in year 2 of its new era, and the answer might be even more dangerous for the rest of the Big Ten.
Prime Field!
Welcome to Prime Field. Tonight we examine a program at a crossroads. For years, Iowa women's basketball was defined by a singular transcendent talent. But after a 23-11 record in the first season of a new era, the 2025-26 campaign represents a fundamental test. This is the story of a program's deliberate shift, from the shadow of a superstar to the creation of a new, sustainable identity. The central question is no longer about replacing a legend, but about building something different, something designed to last. It's a move from stabilization to elevation led by head coach Jan Jensen. The challenge is immense, to prove that a new blueprint centered on balance and versatility can deliver consistent, high-level success. This season will be the first true measure of that vision. Can Iowa forge a new identity, one that thrives not on a single heliocentric force, but on the strength of its entire system? The answer will define the future of the program. The 2024-25 season was an exercise in navigation through turbulent waters. The program faced a dual departure of historic proportions, the transcendent talent of Caitlin Clark and the steady hand of longtime coach Lisa Bluter. The primary mission for Jan Jensen in her first full season was clear: maintain competitiveness and cohesion. It was about steadying the ship. The team had to adapt to a new style of play and integrate new personnel, all while under the microscope of national attention. The final record of 23 wins and 11 losses was respectable, a clear indicator that the program had avoided a catastrophic collapse. Yet the season concluded without the team forging a distinct identity of its own. It existed in the shadow of what came before, a transitional year focused on finding its footing. This period of stabilization was a necessary first step, but it was always intended to be just that. A first step. With the foundation now secure, the program's focus would shift from holding its ground to advancing its position. The 2025-26 season marks a critical pivot in strategy. The era of reactive rebuilding, a necessity in the immediate aftermath of the Clark and Bluter departures, is over. In its place comes a period of proactive program building, a deliberate construction of the team according to Coach Jensen's specific vision. This shift is fueled by the full integration of key new talent. Transfers such as Emily Rodriguez are now embedded within the system, bringing experience and new dynamics. Crucially, Jensen's own recruits, including guard Addie Deal and forward Layla Hayes, are no longer prospects, but active, contributing members of the roster. Their arrival and assimilation signal the true beginning of the Jensen era. This infusion of talent is designed to elevate the team's play beyond the metrics of the previous season. The goal is no longer just to compete, but to establish a consistent, high-level performance standard. It's a move away from a model dependent on a single, extraordinary player and toward a system built for long-term, sustainable success. At the heart of this new system is a completely re-engineered offense. For several seasons, the Iowa offense was a case study in heliocentrism. The system was designed to orbit around the unique gravitational talent of Caitlin Clark. Her exceptional scoring and distribution abilities were the sun around which every offensive set, every play call, and every strategic decision revolved. It was a model that brought unprecedented success and national attention. But with the departure of its central figure, that model became obsolete. The 2025-26 season will be defined by the transformation away from this single-star system. The new offensive blueprint is built on a different principle, a multi-pronged attack. The objective is to create a diversified, balanced scoring distribution that makes the team far more difficult to defend. Opponents can no longer design a defensive scheme with the primary goal of containing one player. Instead, they will be forced to account for multiple threats from different positions on the floor. This fundamental change is not merely an adaptation. It is a complete philosophical shift, designed to create a more resilient and less predictable offensive unit. It now falls to a new set of players to execute this vision. Executing Iowa's new offensive philosophy requires a specific blend of veteran leadership and emerging talent. The framework of this multi-pronged attack rests on two key pillars who embody the team's intended versatility. The first is senior Hannah Stuelka. Her established inside-out game provides the team with a strong, reliable post presence, a foundational element that can anchor the offense and create scoring opportunities both near the basket and from mid-range. The second pillar is freshman Addie Deal, a player who represents the dynamic future of the program. Deal brings a 3-level scoring capability that is essential for a modern, balanced offense. Her skill set is remarkably versatile. She's a threat from beyond the arc, possesses the ability to attack the rim, and has the capacity to create her own shot off the dribble. The combination of Stuelka's power and post play with Deal's perimeter versatility creates the 1-2 punch that the new system requires. Together they form the core of a diversified offensive arsenal, ensuring that Iowa can generate points from multiple areas of the court through different types of players. The strategic shift to a balanced offensive attack provides Iowa with significant tactical advantages. The most immediate benefit is the challenge it presents to opposing defenses. With multiple credible scoring threats on the floor, opponents can no longer concentrate their defensive efforts on a single player. Game plans that once focused on containing a superstar must now be broadened to account for a versatile and distributed offense. This forces opposing coaches into more complex defensive calculations and creates more one-on-one opportunities for Iowa's players. Beyond the schematic advantages, this balanced approach fosters greater team cohesion. When offensive responsibility is shared, it encourages ball movement, trust, and a collective sense of ownership over the team's success. It also provides greater in-game adaptability. If one player is having an off night or is neutralized by the defense, others are already integrated into the offense and prepared to step up. This on-court identity, one of depth, adaptability, and shared responsibility, is a direct reflection of a larger, program-wide evolution. This evolution is perhaps most evident in the team's growing influence in national recruiting. Perhaps the most compelling evidence of the program's successful transition is its performance in recruiting, the so-called Caitlin effect. The surge in attention and interest generated by its former star has not dissipated. Instead, it appears to have evolved into something more durable, a sustainable recruiting brand. A key indicator of this is Iowa's standing with the next generation of elite talent. The program has emerged as a finalist for top-tier 2026 recruits, including McKenna Wolitzko and Jenica Lewis. That a program in a clear transitional phase can command the attention of such highly sought-after players is significant. It demonstrates that Iowa's appeal is no longer solely dependent on the presence of a single magnetic superstar. This shift suggests that the foundation of the program's recruiting gravity has changed. Recruits are not just looking at the legacy of the past, but at the vision for the future. The conversation has moved beyond one player and is now centered on the system, the culture, and the potential for development under Jan Jensen. The recent recruiting success signals a fundamental change in how Iowa is perceived on a national level. The program's appeal is now built on a foundation of system, culture, and a clear potential for player development. This shift from a star-dependent attraction to a broader, system-based appeal indicates a sustainable framework for future success. Iowa is increasingly viewed as a destination for top talent seeking a specific type of environment. The article suggests that the program is no longer seen as a one-woman show. Instead, it is becoming known as a place where skilled players can integrate into a balanced, competitive system that does not rely on a single individual to carry the entire offensive and promotional load. This new identity attracts athletes who want to be part of a cohesive unit, where success is a shared outcome. It points to the establishment of a durable culture under Coach Jensen, one that can outlast any single player, no matter how talented. But forging this new identity while honoring the past presents a unique and delicate challenge for the program's leadership. The central task for Coach Jan Jensen is one of careful balance. She must honor the legacy of the Caitlin Clark era, an unprecedented period that brought the program national attention and acclaim, while simultaneously forging a distinctly new path forward. It's a nuanced challenge that requires respecting the past without being constrained by it. Some critics, as the report notes, may argue that losing a transcendent talent inevitably lowers a program's ceiling potential. This perspective suggests that the heights reached during the Clark era are unattainable without a similar singular star. However, the program's current trajectory suggests a different possibility. The deliberate move toward a diversified offensive approach, combined with sustained recruiting momentum, points toward a different model for success. This new model is not focused on replicating the past, but on building a more resilient and adaptable team. The emphasis is on depth, versatility, and a system that can win through collective strength rather than individual brilliance. This is the core of Jensen's vision. Ultimately, the 2025-26 season is positioned as the true test of Jan Jensen's vision for Iowa women's basketball. It will provide the first clear answer to the program's most pressing question. Can Iowa transcend its historic past and establish a new, sustainable blueprint for success that does not rely on a single superstar? This new blueprint is built upon a foundation of balance, versatility, and recruiting excellence. Its success hinges on the performance of players like Hannah Stwilka in the post, and Addie Deal from the perimeter, and on the seamless integration of a new wave of the talent. It is a formula designed for consistency and resilience, intended to create a program that is a perennial contender. The shift from stabilization to elevation is complete. The pieces are in place, and the philosophy has been set. The upcoming season will be a referendum on this new identity. While the challenges are significant, the initial evidence suggests a positive outcome. As the source material concludes, early signs point to yes, making this season a defining chapter in the program's evolution.